The Psalms oftentimes are using languages about gathering people in worship. Enter his courts with thanksgiving. No, that's wrong. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. And you get this idea, the metaphor, the structure, the literal structure of the temple, that you pass through the gates and you're giving thanks, and that you enter the courts and you're giving praise. It's a progression, a procession of drawing nearer and nearer. Physically, in the Old Testament period, that oriented people. And while we don't need that structure, I mean, the veil has been rent, and so that structure is not part of it anymore. But there's something to be learned from that. And so part of gathering people is the giving of thanks. And I sometimes think, what would it be like if before you started worship, or if there's a place early in the game when you could call for people to give thanks. It's like every night around the supper table, I'm always trying to get my children, I'm like, well, can we give a thankful? What are you thankful for? And it causes you to go to a place of gratitude, which I would maintain is the very heart of worship. The word Eucharist, it's a Greek word. It means thanksgiving. That's the word that signifies the Lord's Supper. It means thanksgiving. And then, of course, praise. Enter his gates with thanksgiving, his courts with praise. And the thing is so often things get in such ruts and such cliches, you've got to kind of break rhythm. You've got to call people back to the obviousness of this whole thing and help them to enter it anew, to see it afresh, to think, this worship is pretty simple. It's not complicated. And what we need are leaders who can take us to those places that open our hearts with these kinds of activities. That's how we gather people in worship.